Psalms chapter 37 and verse 28 says, For the Lord loveth judgments, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. Kala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. I want to give our praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai for giving me the spirit to do this video. Giving double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this 100% truth. And rise up, Kwam Yahshua, to the house of David through the power and the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Harakakwadash. So, yeah, I'm going to catch up on this little, I wouldn't say little, this storm, this tornado. Destructive tornado strikes western Chicago suburbs, injures at least 8. And going by this Washington Post, probably more since then, since this news article has been put up by the Washington Post, probably been more injuries. They've found more dead bodies, and they're going to continue to find more dead as time goes on. This wasn't no light thing, you know. Mosai's turning up the heat, he's turning up the screws, man. Despite of what everything else is going on with this new variant and the jab, you know, they're planning with their pandemic, and then they're gonna come in with their soldiers, super soldiers, with all that's going on. On top of that, we've got tornadoes and we've got strange weathers. We've got the Most High's judgments. So prophecy, everything is going according to plan. Let's take a look at some of these clips.
In a matter of seconds, people lost their lives, people lost their loved ones, people lost their cars, their houses, furniture, everything. I mean, you can name it. It's just become a big disaster. And this used to be my two-story home that I was building for my family, for me and my family to live on. I had insurance in the beginning, then I was on the final stages of my house, and they told me that we cannot no longer insure you because it's been over 6 months, and I didn't have no insurance. So all this is over $150,000. This complete loss. It's tough. I mean.
So this young man here was planning to build a new house, man, right? And what come along? Most High come jack him up. Yeah, what comes to mind? A precept in Malachi chapter 1, I think it's 4. They shall build, they shall rebuild, but I will throw down. So prophecies, Most High is turning up the screws, man. And this was like, it was saying this, so far they're saying it's about 6 states. This tornado swept through 6 states over there in the southern areas. Was that Naperville, Woodbridge, Durain, was some others there, Kentucky, and others, as they're gonna explain. So this was no light thing. Chicago, boy. So right through the, let's hear some more. Tornado strikes western Chicago suburbs, injures at least 8.
We're still in the shock mode. I mean, we got nothing pretty much saved. I put all my money into the house for 6 years of hard work. It's just unbelievable, you know, like you'd never think in your life something that you built, like, and you're planning to live with your family, and you matter of 7 or 8 months later on, you're gonna come back and just basically gonna start picking up all the trash. And I just pray this never happened. Never ever again to anybody.
We had an F4 tornado come through Bowling Green, Kentucky. It tore up a lot of businesses and cost a few lives, but you know, for the most part, we're all still here. We want to lift those guys up in prayer. You know, if they lost people, this is just stuff. Yeah, come in, check it out. We've been in business for 43 years, and it just took, this is the path it took from right here, you know, as we put a lot of heart and our soul into all this stuff, and, you know, all of a sudden, just one blink of an eye, it's gone. So don't take each other for granted by all means. You can't escape Mother Nature, but our God is bigger than Mother Nature.
I was at home right down the road. We got lucky. It wasn't during store hours, so we would have been sitting somewhere.
I was in the bathtub for an hour.
This was our shop where we do car stereo installations, and it's pretty much gone. There's a lot of people out there that lost loved ones. We just lost merchandise and stuff. We can get over that. Hopefully we rebuild. I mean, that's.
Hopefully we shall rebuild. Right, I got a precept for that one. Malachi 1. That's just exactly what the Most High is saying, man. In 4 it says, whereas Esau saith, we are impoverished. They're saying they're impoverished. Just like the other guy. He's talking about he built his new home, and he said he wouldn't have thought he would have to come home and pick up all the trash. And no doubt they're all in the same frame of mind. Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places, thus saith the Lord. Because that's their pride. They don't want to humble themselves. They don't want to admit, oh, we went wrong. We should never have put those N-word people, the Negroes, they should have never put them in slavery. They don't want to put up their hands and say, we should have never have done it. Otherwise, this would never be happening to us. So they're saying, Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Pride. Thus saith the Lord, but this is what the Lord is saying. Yehovah Ba'ashem Yahushua is saying, of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. So continue to rebuild. And then the Most High going to throw it down again. Away with your pride and your arrogance. See, this is exactly what is taking place here. This is prophecy. Everything is going according to plan. See them there? I build up the building them.
Don't take each other for granted by all means. You can't escape Mother Nature, but our God is bigger than Mother Nature.
See, that's denial speaking. They want to turn it over and deflect it to Mother Nature. That's denial. And damn right blasphemy. Mother Nature.
People, this is just stuff. Yeah, come in, check it out. We've been in business for 43 years, and it just took this is the path it took from right here. As we put a lot of heart and our soul in all this stuff, and all of a sudden, just one blink of an eye, it's gone. So don't take each other for granted by all means. You can't escape.
Yeah, because that's how the Most High gets down. He can just tear it down in one blink of an eye, man. 1/10 of a second, he's all gone.
Escape Mother Nature, but our God is bigger than Mother Nature.
I was at home right down the road. We got lucky. It wasn't during store hours, so we would have been sitting somewhere.
That wasn't luck. The Most High is preserving you for something bigger and better. Most likely he's preserving a lot of you eats for the real heat, the missiles, the real heat, the real judgment, the icing on the cake. So you didn't get lucky.
I was in the bathtub for an hour.
This was our shop where we do car stereo installations, and it's pretty much gone. There's a lot of people out there that lost loved ones. We just lost merchandise and stuff. We can get over that. Hopefully we rebuild. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on with all these properties, and I hope everybody gets together and says, hey, let's make it better next time.
I think right now, again, we want to focus today and the next day on life saving. We really want to make sure that we find anybody who still might be trapped in the rubble across all of these states. But then it's going to be a long recovery, and we really need to focus on how we're going to help these communities with their immediate needs, their immediate sheltering needs, and then the long-term housing needs that are going to really be needed to help these communities and these families rebuild.
Actually, what we need from the surrounding communities is if you're safe and you have power, stay home. We need to make sure that our roads are open for first responders, for heavy equipment, and not having people just coming to see what is human misery and great difficulty and devastation. We're going to have lost thousands of homes because when this tornado hit, it didn't rip a roof off. I mean, it obliterated houses, just totally gone. So there's going to be a lot of work, and Kentuckians need to know that we're going to be with them, and the country's going to be with them, not just today, and not just this week, but in the months and even the years to come. This is the deadliest tornado event we have ever had. I think it's going to be the longest and deadliest tornado event in U.S. history. We know that one of these tornadoes was on the ground over 227 miles, and Jake, 200 were in Kentucky. I've got towns that are gone, that are just, gone.
You hear that? Let's hear that again. This is the Most High's anger right here. This is the wrath of Yehovah Hashem.
It obliterated houses, just totally gone. So there's going to be a lot of work, and Kentuckians need to know that we're going to be with them, and the country's going to be with them, not just today, and not just this week, but in the months and even the years to come. This is the deadliest tornado event we have ever had. I think it's going to be the
I've got to bring this on, right, man. Hebrews 10:31 says, "It is a fearful thing to fall unto the hands of the living God. Yet still, he still spared your life. Maybe you won't be so fortunate, or you won't be so merciful the next time around, man. See, it is a fearful thing to fall unto the hands of the living God. Everything is gone. He obliterated the homes. Nothing left. One state is all of the homes were flattened. Let him carry on.
It didn't rip a roof off. It obliterated houses, just totally gone. So there's going to be a lot of work, and Kentuckians need to know that we're going to be with them, and the country's going to be with them, not just today, and not just this week, but in the months and even the years to come. This is the deadliest tornado event we have ever had. I think it's going to be the longest and deadliest tornado event in U.S. history. We know that one of these tornadoes was on the ground over 227 miles, and Jake, 200 were in Kentucky. I've got towns that are gone, that are just, gone.
This is a very unusual event. It's almost like the tornado going through Arkansas picked cities along the path. Many times they're more rural areas. Here we hit multiple towns.
Pick cities along the tornado going through the towns, pick cities along the path. What would you call that? Surgical strikes. Call that surgical strikes. The Most High loveth judgment.
Gone.
This is a very unusual event. It's almost like the tornado going through Arkansas picked cities along the path. Many times they're more rural areas. Here we hit multiple towns, causing enormous loss of homes and businesses. So the recovery is going to be longer. We're still recovering, making sure people have a place to stay, and then we'll go through the long process of rebuilding these homes, which are heartaches for each individual citizens. It's important that, and the president said he would cut through any red tape to make sure that we get the disaster declaration once we get the numbers in and justify that.
It's true what they say. Everything just stops. There's no rain, there's no wind, there's no nothing, and it's just there, and then it's gone. It sounds just like a train just in your ear. It's just overwhelming. It was so fast, but yet it felt like a lifetime. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. I'm from Mayfield, and the history, the little bit of history that was left is no more. And that what sucks the most, honestly.
This was my business. It was a healing center.
It's just devastating.
We don't even know what to say. It's like you just lose everything in a minute.
Tornado came in through here 3 years ago and just kind of hopped and skipped and did damage to the car dealership and stuff, but nothing to this degree.
Yeah, actually how we found out is because he's a physician, the CEO called him and asked
we had
him,
a mass casualty drill at the hospital. We had people everywhere. We were suturing people up. It was
so they asked him for help.
And we were like, what? Wait, what? Is that serious? And then that's how we kind of learned about the devastation.
Yeah.
So that was last night, early into like 4 a.m. this morning. I was in the hospital. Like I said, the CEO called about 10:30, and I thought he was just checking on me, and then he said, hey, can you come up here? One of the other general surgeons, one of the orthopedic surgeons were up there. There were people everywhere, lots of children, people with lacerations, broken bones. I mean, they just kept coming in. We were using different parts of the hospital for triage, and we were suturing people up normally where we pre-op people before surgery, the ER. I mean, it was kind of crazy.
there
Yeah, people
are
live up
homes.
and down this street that are just completely
Yeah,
without
so,
everything. They have nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So we are blessed
But
in that regard.
You just can't describe what losing everything.
Giving our praises. See, let me bring out another one. Psalms 83 and 13 says, "Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm." See what's happening right there?
And again, I can't imagine if this was our home. I mean, this is just business
That would be crazy.
stuff, so,
Yeah.
you know, it's not my home.
Yeah, this house was built in about 1916, and we came in and we had converted it in,
Right, as the fire burneth the wood, as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Right, totally devastated. Nothing left of the buildings. It wasn't just a lifting up off the roof or sweeping up off the roof. It was some of the houses were totally. It's like, imagine you got those sand castles and someone just comes along and just puts their foot right on it, right in front of you. You've took your time to build up that sand castle or your house of cards, or your Meccano, or your jigsaws, what you like, what you used to make when you was younger, your little jigsaws, or the Meccano games and all those little, and someone just comes along and just and looks at you and just smiles. The Most High ain't played, man. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with storm. Fill the faces with shame. Right, someone just comes along and just smashes your Lego, your favorite Lego house. And what do? You just sit there. Your smile turns into a frown, man. Fill their faces with shame, as it's saying here, that they may seek thy name. What did you go and mess about with the Most High's? Why did you touch the apple of the Most High's eye for? His children, the so-called black people that you love to hate. You shouldn't have touched the apple of the Most High's eye. Let them be put to shame, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob. That's Obadiah 10. For the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. Let them be confounded, fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Let them be put to shame and perish. For the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. I might do a video on just that word there. Yaharatazar, through the Spirit. If the Spirit's on me, I just do a video on just the word shame and go in. Because shame and being devastated and humiliated, we're just coming out of that now. The curses, Deuteronomy 28, and the curses are going upon them now. Shame and humiliation.
And again, I can't imagine if this was our home. I mean, this is just business
That would be
stuff,
crazy.
so,
Early days,
you know,
yeah.
it's not my home.
yeah, this house was built in about 1916, and we came in and we had converted it and totally redid it. This is Merit Behavioral Associates. We've been here for, at least 13 or 14 years. It's a total loss, and it's
Total loss, a write-off.
recover from, and hopefully find another place so that we can continue providing outpatient services for the people in this community. For years, I've sat in this office, and I had this stained glass window here behind my desk, and my patients would sit on the sofa here, and I'd sit over here, and this is where I did all of my work. And I just feel so fortunate that nobody was here and it happened at night, and that there wasn't a loss of life for any of our folks or for our employees here at Merit Behavioral Associates.
At 9:30, I was watching for the storm to come through. Just hit immediately. We ran up in the bathroom, dived in the bathtub. It was crazy. I ain't never been so scared in my life. Me and my brother, we both dived in the bathtub and covered up with the door. It was crazy. Yeah. I kept thinking the house was gonna fall down on me. It was crazy. I'm talking about, it was shaking, the whole house was shaking. I thought it was in the backyard. My brother screaming, "The house is gonna fall!" I jerked him in the bathtub with me. I mean, it just tore the roof straight off her. I did not know. There was telephone poles all over the front yard. It was crazy. There were sparks flying from the cable. It was crazy. Yeah, it was for real. So.
You know, it's like I was telling my husband, you know, this is stuff you only turn on the TV and you see, and it's hard, but you don't truly get it until you walk out your front door and see it firsthand, and then it's like, what? Like, no way, this did not just happen. Not in my town.
All right, let's give it another one. Come bring it round and rewind and come again. Psalms 83 and 15 says, so persecute them with the tempest and make them afraid on every side. Right, let's get the precept to that one. So after the Most High persecute them with tempest and they're afraid. Psalms 148 8 says, fear. Well, has he persecuting them? Has he really dealing with them? He's throwing the jab. He keep on throwing the jab. I'm going to go back and read that one again. Psalms 83 and 15 says, so persecute them with the tempest and make them afraid with thy storm. That's just jabs. The tempest is just jabs. And here comes the overhand right. Psalms 148. This is the overhand right. This is the knockout punch. And 8 says, fire and hail, snow and viper, stormy wind fulfilling his word. They're out for the count right now. Right? So I'll end off the video with this one, man. Again, I'll read it. Hebrews 10 and 31. It says, it is a fearful thing to fall unto the hands of the living God. They're shook right now. One woman said that she was shell-shocked. She said, what did she say? She come out of her yard, she said.
But you don't truly get it until you walk out your front door. And
There were sparks flying from the cable. It was crazy. Yeah, it was for real. So.
You know, it's like I was telling my husband, you know, this is stuff you only turn on the TV and you see, and it's hard, but you don't truly get it until you walk out your front door and see it firsthand, and then it's like, what?
You don't truly get it until you walk out your front door, and then it's like, that's what you call shell-shocked. Most High is giving them an overhand right, so they're on the ropes now, and they're stunned. Most High ain't knocking them out yet. He ain't put them down yet. That's going to be the missiles, but they're stunned. They're on the ropes. Fire, he's persecuting them with his tempest, and this is the result. Fire in Psalms 148 and 8. Fire, hail, snow, and viper, stormy wind, fulfilling his word. They're on the ropes, man. They're on the ropes. You might keep them up, and he might just, be laughing at them and poking his tongue out while they're on the ropes right now. You know, letting them kind of like just be there, and he's gonna wind up the right hand, and then bing, they're gonna be knocked out on the floor, boy. Malachi 3, Malachi chapter 4. This is the last one to end off the video. Says Malachi chapters. We want 1. Malachi 1:4 says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord haveth indignation forever. Continue to rebuild, but he's just going to keep on knocking it down again. He's going to put his foot right on your Lego, your favorite sandcastle, your favorite Lego house, your Meccano, your favorite card house, all your favorite things that you like to build and make pretty designs. One solicitor said he lost his company, his total company, he lost his home, and that Biden talking about pray for these people. Well, the Most High says not to pray for you people. As a matter of fact, we're helping you. We're helping the Most High. We're behind the Most High, and we're helping him, and we're continuing to put up curses. Wa Asham means fire, right? Wa Asham, send fire. Shalak wa Asham al wa yabinawa. Yeah, send fire to all my enemies. Babukasha, 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 babukasha. Please, please, please. So, giving our praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yoshai, the house of cards is come tumbling down eventually. and we've been waiting for this time. You know, Most High's only, this is just the beginning, man. This is just the beginning. So we're getting at our popcorn. While these things start to unravel, the Most High's prophecy starts to unravel. You know, over here they're talking about you got to wear your stupid mask now. You see, we see what's happening. You know, they're building up their case, building up their plans. They're pan-plandemic, setting the stage to introduce the MOTB, and then coming like a flood, and the Most High is going to have to lift up a standard against them. So things are happening, everything's going according to plan. So to Wada to your whole Bashim El Shai for giving me the spirit to do this video. Rise up to the house of David, Kwam Yashu'Allah, that means rise, and everything the wicked have done to us, past, present and future, is falling upon their own head.